In today's video, I will show you what is inside of this regulator rectifier module which is found in motorcycle. What is the regulator rectifier module is, you can see my previous video part 1 which I opened, see the capacitive. So this now I have a regulator rectifier which is used in motorbike, convert into a alternator voltage into a battery voltage. So that's why right now see what is inside this. Although it is a potted with some resins, so that's why it is not open easily. So I decided to open with acetone. And I also tell you, previously I say I further opened the CD I bought more furtherly, but sadly it will bloat. I try overfolds or applying extra acetone, so that's why they totally destroy them. So I cannot make asserted. But I checked them, taking RPCs and combined with tape, and I realized that there are a same thing is there is a same circuit. 3 kilo ohm and 4.7 kilo ohm resistor is different. Now I put the acetone in there. Now we put a regulator inside and dip for a few times and see what is happening. This time I think my ethanol are less than requirement, but still okay. See to what's happening in it. I leave this thing about one day after and I can see them. And one more thing, I am quite busy for some work, so that's why I cannot upload video about 2 months. I think because continuously because I am too busy to try to researching with electronics for my next project, so that's why I am busy right now. That's why I not upload video. But future I upload 2 or 3 videos at same time. And now you can see we can put this thing into the table around 1 day and then see the result. Now time is 2 p.m. Tomorrow 2 p.m. is complete this process. Pause. Now you can see I am telling about yesterday, tomorrow, but today is 24 hours, but this will be done in 15 hours previously. So right now it is, I say 4 hours, but I hope, I'm thinking it will complete out because there some paint is removed out to the heat sink. Now open it. This time you might be seeing first time I am put on my hand to drop it without gloves, which is like a zipper, but it is dangerous, like a highly flammable. If you eat them, drink them, it is a damage, dangerous, and eyes. Accidentally those eyes, it is also damage your eyes, but it is not dangerous for skin like your hands. But I not recommend you can put this your body parts to the acetone because this is a dangerous thing. But this is not toxic but harmful and poisonous and highly volatile level. So that's why we put this thing to a tight cover. That's why it's all expand out, rotate out and tiny bit left out. Always still very tight. In order to open this, we quickly open them and quickly put out this thing by my own hands, but I not man them without using gloves because little I think in my hands it is all quickly vibrating in your hand. If accidentally touch with hand or surface, it's that way it is very tightly and very urgently close them bottle bag because it is evaporate in just all in 1 second. Now this time we need the arm. And never put this thing near the fire because it is dangerous. You use a flat extruder and open this. This is metal thing. You told them, and first I tell you, for this there are 4 poles. 2 poles for input alternator and 2 poles for output DC. Battery is the AC to DC converter plus regulator. I don't know. There are some reality is also regulator, only rectifier is. If it is rectifier, there is quite a shame because there are 2 diodes mounted in this bigger package. If it is some regulation like that, MPPT charging system, that's why it are more vertically. Now we can stem them all the top layer very easily, and this time Never worry, no worry, there are PCB is this side and there is a component is this side, each side. We can only the back side, meaning intention. There is just to remove the insulation, damage the soldering mark of this PCB inside, but there is no damage there. The outside is other, it will not react. And this part is made of purely metal. So that's why I always open this thing with back side. Using sharp tools carefully, not ram your hand while doing, because this is my stupidity. When you, so that's why it is too sharp. So we can also do that very carefully, because it's though to the in your hand, injure your hand. If you are your hand is already injured, never place this injury portion to the nearby chemicals, because always it's not the same. But somewhere your injury is older or newer, it can breathe tiny because molecules of chemicals to your skin inside the blood react and damage you. So if you are already injured, never dealing with these chemicals. Next time you might be seeing my sound is very happy, because my sound right now I'm a little bit ill, so that's why the sound is not looking very well, but still, or I also applied too much pressure, because I expected that, because in my opinion case there are more further opportunities, because I'm thinking that there are each with tiny little board placed there and some sort of epoxy placed, but this case I am the twice of epoxy or this stance, I don't know what this substance is, so that's why it will still be left bottom more. We need to more depot it, I think, because there this very one is more stronger than top one. Top one is moving just like the as shell with up to the end, but now down portion is something odd, which I think is not even open. So that's why I am thinking to maybe pause them or maybe further that. I think there is some sort of solid, meaning metal inside, which is not open. Let me see what's pause. You can see I am this is right now tomorrow 2:20 p.m. but still it's not open. But first I have to do. We put in the night. You can see I put in strasten and then I put with reacetone again about tomorrow 9, meaning let me 15 hours at more dipping with acetone, and then I stripping and then I get close to a component, and I say there are assembly components. There is assembly components. There is something a bit rectifier, and there was one capacitor. I think there's 2 ICs. I mean resistors. I think assembly basics, and there are 3 resistors somewhere there. Right now it is a very critical stuff. Right now I spent too much time about right now 9 a.m. to 2:25 p.m. to step in, and I let this component close them, but I think there are certain bodies also close to the near them, because this is a surface mount component. There's near them, close them to the circuit board, but there are no circuit board, and come out, and I am stretching this side and I realize that there's tiny little board in this portion is empty. So and the other side is totally made of chassis or each side of aluminum, so I cannot break easily. It is quite a risky of stuff. If I am try further, if it is open or break, it is not I tell right now, because I searched them. The only single person have already opened this thing by ended liner, and any cannot open that, but I am a certain person which I can tend to do, but I have no ended liner right now. So see how it's open it. Pause. Try to touch this metal part. So the metal part top side just like the each thing Now it should start out, and accidentally also brought a one transistor metal plate, or this is a inside left, and other blob of epoxy resin or simmer type chain. So we can also resolve them with again acetone, and for one day I dip this thing in the one day again in acetone, then I scrape it out, and then until light comes like some sort of like that, and then if see the further and what reverse engineering was, and reverse engineering plus which components is used inside and how it's utilized inside. So what I can do, I put in the acetone in this jar and put this module, this regulator module, and then we wait a one day, apply the lid and wait a one day, and after scrape it out and then continue the video. So because this time I will not show a scraping process again. This scraping process is same process we proceed already there. Instead these are time consuming. I done these two steps and then continue the video by adding acetone first. I not put all acetone. I will not need to put all the acetone. Just little bit acetone is poured. I think it's enough. And once permanently lid is fall down, which this acetone is spread. So spread is totally evaporate. So we need to close the tap under just setting, so otherwise it can fly out. Now I tight the taps and clean my hands afterwards. Once it's complete, I step out, then we then continue the video, then pause. Now I finally open this, so I put this thing in acetone about twice of times, and after realize that this top material is made of cement or sand, so it is not removed by acetone. Then I stretching downside more and that finally board, and outside I also stretch out with some other material, other sharp things like the sharp screwdriver or knife to finally open them. There are two thyristors, accidentally one broke, I already tell you, which is holding by a metal plate. Both thyristor number is same, both are BT151, and then there's a couple of things like the rectifier diode, some transistors, mystery transistors, some resistors, some capacitors, and some these transistors, and some signal diodes and something like that. Now if turns like that, these circuits. If you are first, I remove extra sheets for making a problem. So first, if you might be thinking first, I clearly realize me this regulator is a overcharge protection or undercharge protection, but if it is not, so it is a regular charger. So it is protect your battery for under voltage condition, meaning if your engine is low spinning speed, it can produce low voltage, which cannot charge the battery, but its battery needs only charge in high voltage range. If motorbike is drive high speed, then your motorbike battery is charging low speed. In case of low speed, it is not charging your motorbike battery, or there is no overcharge protection. Undercharge protection is still available, but not a overcharge and overdone protection is available. Once pause, I think I made one mistake. Once pause. So the battery is nothing there. I accidentally reverse them, and there's nothing a coil. So when voltage coil down is connected to a chassis, battery down also connected to chassis, and this unit also connected to one terminal chassis. So what's happening that when it's then turn on the engine, its voltage pass to the coil to this thyristor to directly to battery. This thyristor works as a one-way diode, as well as a variable, I mean limit, turn limit or turn limit is set it. So it is limit a turn flow between coil to the battery terminal. There is no any other protection or smoothing. This thyristor gate is, I mean 40 amp 500 volt thyristor. This thyristor gate is controlled by, there are IC, this IC with control transistor type IC, but there are something IC, this IC one terminal is connected to a 2 kilo ohm resistor to a negative, other resistor with an 1.2 kilo ohm resistor to the IC feedback pin, and this 3 pin IC output pin is controlled to the BT151 thyristor gate. And similarly there are one more thyristor which is BT151 similarly, which can take the coil to voltage and sends to the chassis when there is applied voltage in a gate voltage. This gate voltage is limited passed by this diode for a single polarity. So if there is some reason it's some positive, that can turn the gate voltage and it can turn the coil to a ground. If there is no voltage, I mean no signal is there, so it will not turn the voltage coil to the ground. This case it will not turn the engine off, meaning if 50 volt. So these 50 volts, those limited by this. First is convert AC to DC by rectifier, and then those diode for protection and little point limiting and general diode converts this 50 volt to 12 volt. This 12 volt is more further drop about 9 volt somewhere by this voltage divider. So this 9 volt is applied date of this thyristor. Once this voltage is input voltage is more than 50 volt, output voltage is also increased, like say for instance 12 volt. Once it's this 12 volt this thyristor detects gate voltage is more than 12 volt, it can put the coil voltage to a ground to make a short circuit in the engine, which starts to turn off the fuel portion, and engine will be automatically stop, and this case you cannot damage your motor by circuitry. This is the over voltage protection circuit. And there are positive, in case of positive and negative, there are also 10 kilo ohm resistor, 10 kilo ohm plus 15 kilo ohm resistor with tiny little unknown IC is, which I not know. It is a only red blob top IC. I don't know it is what this IC does, but there is a circuit. First positive, one positive, then switch to tell you these two ICs, 3-pin ICs are mystery ICs. There is no any number. One is somewhere there, transistor, and other is somewhere. Let me see the closure of my microscope. There, both are unknown number, not any kind of number. So I did not find these information about these two ICs. I also pin the video description of main this BT151 that thyristor data sheet, but I do not find these two tiny little IC data sheet is. And this video is done with the next video. I should pause.